I am live. I am going to go post this on our website, denverguitarorchestra.com. Thursday nights. Thursday night. Here it goes. Link to join. Well, link to join goes here. Oops, I gotta hit edit page first. Open this up. And then we'll get started here in just a minute. 7:57. Probably if you're watching the video of this, you can fast forward it 4 minutes. And that's when we'll start. Edit that page. All right, link to join. This is for tonight. Delete, Control V, Shift, highlight, link, enter, edit, update. Control X. This needs to stay green. Update. Very exciting watching me compute. Hopefully you have already fast forwarded and you are not seeing this part of the video. Let's see, this is from earlier today. We'll mark that as done. And update there. And I should be able to click on view page here and it should open up to our lovely video broadcast for the evening. And my lighting is terrible tonight. I don't know what I'm going to do to fix that. Maybe nothing. And there's this. And yeah, good God, there I am. And there's that. So everything should be back to normal here, which they are. Very good. And then that's it. There we go. So if any of you log in and are ready to play, let me know how the sound is working for you. I am going to turn on one more light. This one here. It should give us a tiny. That showed my shorts. I'm wearing shorts. Don't look at me. Okay. Lighting is okay. Reflects off my forehead. Hey, Vic. Yep. So here we go. It is, it's 7:59. We'll wait 2 minutes and then we'll get started. Let's see. We're playing Remember Me, which I was playing earlier, and my pinky was like, nope, you're not doing that. You're not playing that at all today. So we'll see how the things go tonight. Sometimes it's great, sometimes not. I did not send out an email reminder for tonight's activity, so we may get, maybe Vic and I working on this together. That's okay. I'll remind him tomorrow and they can come watch the video, right? You know, put it on your calendar, peeps. All right, let's see here. If I don't move at all, the lighting is okay right there. So let me put this down just a smidge. And there we go. Yep, that'll work. All righty. So we are theoretically, all of our level 4 players will be dropping in today, which isn't true. There will be 2 or 3 of us, and then we'll have a couple of lurkers, right? Ooh, I want to play Remember Me, or I want to play guitar or something like that. We always get a few of those peeps, and they come and go pretty quick. Let's get tuned up in standard tuning. Okay, sounds like a guitar. It's 8:01. Let's get started. So tonight we're doing Remember Me. That's all we're doing. And so let's go through and look at, make sure we're cool with how the sheet music is laid out and how it's working. General approaches I'm taking to it, and hopefully those things will help you. Hey, Bill, welcome in. Glad you're here tonight. we'll play through we'll talk through the whole thing in various different ways. Then when we're done, we'll play, and then you guys that are here tonight are going to get a vote as to whether we do it for one more week and stick with it, or whether it's time to throw it out and start looking at a different level 4 song. I'm fine either way on this issue. I want to just make sure you guys are playing and feeling good about the piece, and that if it's coming together for you, but it's not quite there, maybe another week on it would be great. If it's not coming together and it's not going to come together, then maybe it's time to move on. And of course, if it came together and you're amazing and you're just tired and you're just ready to move on, I want to know about that too. So let's play through it a few different ways tonight, and then at the end of the lesson, or it's not really a lesson tonight, at the end of our workshop, you guys can tell me whether you are ready to move on or not. So the first thing I like to do, I always do this, and I don't think that that's ever going to change. I like to play through the melody first and just see what I'm up against. And this has a really nice melody. The biggest challenge with this one is that you're down here, then you're up here, then you're down here, then you're up here, and then you're down here, up here, down here, right? And so there's a lot of needing to be just really ultra focused in on where you are on the fretboard. My guitar is marked at 3, 5, 7, and 9, and it drives me bananas. I wish it was just marked at 7, and that's it. Because this it just drives me crazy. So I think eventually I'm going to take some black out and cover up these dots and put either something on the sides of the fretboard here to make it clearer where I am. There's just too many dots. I look down and I just see all this sea of dots. But I have it marked where we start with the index finger on 5 and then go to 7 and then use your pinky here. Because when we get to the tup accent, that's going to make it easier to get that G chord on. So I don't know necessarily, I don't always mark every single note that I'm going to play with which finger, but I think it's helpful to have certain markers lined up so that you know they're the next thing that you're going to do. So let's play the melody and think about the ways if you were playing in the orchestra and somebody else had chords and somebody else had arpeggios and somebody else was maybe playing the tough part, where how you would survive as just a player doing melody. So let's start with the index finger on 5, and I think the rest of it, we'll just see how it goes. Okay, so from the top, 1, 2. Oh, I should mention, I haven't mentioned this at all. 3 rests, 1, 2, 3, and then an 8th note rest. So it's always 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and go, right? So there's a it's an 8th note that really is what is your pickup. So technically it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, go. And so I've been counting it as 1, 2, 3, go. Right, so I've been giving it a whole long rest before that 5, but you should count it in whatever way makes sense to you. 1, 2, 3. Turn on my page turner. One sec, forgot to do that. And go on to page 2. Ready? From the top of page 2. 1, 2, 3. back to this first page. Sorry. Sorry, let's move on to the top of the page 2. Go. Remember your second ending? So a nice melody, don't you think? I really like that melody. I really think that the whole thing works together pretty nicely. Let's play it one more time. I had a pretty solid first run through, pretty, right? And then the second run, I started thinking about other stuff. The problem I have with playing melody is I have a tendency to sort of let my mind wander a little bit. I do not have that problem when I'm playing tough uke. I do not have that problem when I'm playing chords, but I have a terrible problem with that when I'm playing melody, because I start thinking about the song, and I think about the siren going by, and I think about all this stuff. You have enough time for your brain to continue to work when you're playing melody, and really the main focus of playing melody is just doggone it, make sure you're on the right fret, and so and this song does not allow you to fall asleep, because you're down here, you're like, all right, I got this, and all of a sudden, wait, I'm supposed to be on 12, and I have finding that I am very, very neglectful when I'm playing this song, just a straight melody. So let's try it one more time, see if I can get a little cleaner. Hopefully you guys are killing it at home. Okay, I'm going to count to 3, have the full rest, and then we're going to go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry. Measure 9 is going to be the death of me. To the top. Sorry, go. decent 9 out. Couple thoughts on that. That ending is very boring if you are just playing the guitar and haven't seen the show, right? Go take a look at, just after you're done here tonight, go to YouTube and just type in Remember Me and watch the one where the kid and the grandma are singing at first, and it changes as the video goes on. But when you get to Remember Me at the end, it's just, G, 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 G. But it is cool. It's really nice. It's really a nice moment, especially when you lay in the chords underneath it that are on in the song, which you guys have here, and it ends up sounding really, really spectacular. So, all right. So the melody is a little bit all over the place. Real easy to hit the wrong fret. And I've noticed over the last 2 weeks when I've been working on this that I'm getting where, all right, I'm look down, make sure I'm on 10, make sure I'm on 8. I'm missing a whole lot less now that I'm figuring out where I am. It's a little hard to pick out positional playing unless that's absolutely what you're going to do. So if you have a duet partner and you say, hey, you are definitely playing chords, I am definitely playing melody, then you can really dive in and really pick out your positional playing. I would say, on your own, a whole lot of finger choices work because you're just flying all over the place. So there's not necessarily a rule that you can follow or an overall guidance to minimize the motion, because you're going to be moving a lot, and there's just so just pick your strongest suit and maybe look for what's going to give you the best tone. I have a tendency to way overuse my pinky, whereas a lot of times I might get better tone by using my index finger. And all of those choices you want to make you don't want to make those in the moment, right? You want to, if you're going to be playing melody on a consistent basis, you want to go ahead and formalize what those best fingers for you are. Bill says, I find I need to memorize the melody so I can watch the fretboard while playing. Yeah, I don't think that's true for all songs. So I think a song that behaves a little better and stays down here in frets 1 through 4, you can almost feel your way around. You don't necessarily have to be staring at your fretboard. But the truth is that for most songs, most complex songs, most songs that you really want to play, you're going to be looking at memorizing vast sections of it. Maybe not the whole song, and maybe not every you're going to be needing to memorize it. Certainly those moments in the song where there's big transitional things. So for example, in this song, 5, 7, 3, 3, that beginning doesn't scare me, right? Well, the only thing I've really memorized so far is I'm going to cover both of those 3s with my index finger. And so I don't necessarily, I'm going to double check that I get that 7 right, but then I'm pretty comfy with my 3 here. But where it gets super messy is if you go down to measure 5 and you're hanging out on 7, 7, 8, 8, 7, 8, 7, 7, 5, 5, 3, 3. Now you got to get your here and you got to get here. Well, the chances of you successfully doing that by feel are this much. Right. And so we have to cave into this notion that, all right, that little section there, 3, 3, 12, 12, 10, 10. And then when you get to 10, you're like, okay, I'm pretty sure 7s are next. And then you might be able to look back up at your paper. But yeah, I don't think Bill's thought there is wrong at all, especially on a piece like this where it's all over the place. You're going to have to be watching your hands more than the paper. Now, you only have 2 sheets of paper, the question always comes up, is this song worth memorizing? When I watch classical guitar players, and you guys should, hopefully you should be watching them too a little bit, pull them up. You don't have to watch all classical guitar to become a decent, or even all fingerstyle guitar, honestly. You want to check in with it a little bit, but you also want to be searching around for, new music that you're going to create, and music that brings who you are out, rather than just copying what other people do. But in any event, watching the great classical guitar players, their eyeballs are here. They're obviously they memorize everything on the paper, and they're here. And the reason they do that is a couple of things. One, guitar songs tend to be short, so you really have an opportunity to memorize them. Second of all, unlike piano, where your paper and your hands are very close together, right? So it's relatively easy to see your paper and your hands at the same time. Guitar is not that way at all. Wherever you put the music, it's wrong, and you're going to have to be making this shape, and then this shape, and then this crazy shape, and all these other shapes. You have no hope of doing that if you're not looking at the fretboard. And so that's why all these classical guitars, you watch them, they have the thing memorized, basically because you don't have any choice. You really have to have your hands over here. Often, if I'm going into a performance situation where I don't necessarily have it memorized, but I have it pretty well in hand, I'll put the music up to my side, and I'll leave the front of, like right now, the music's sitting right down here in front of me, but I will put the music over here so that I can be watching my hands and then checking the sheet music in the same glance. So I recommend that, frankly, to you when you're practicing at home. Instead of putting your sheet music right in front of you, put it off over underneath your guitar's neck over on this side. That way your eyeballs can be checking that, checking here, checking this. And I notice when we are in orchestra, lots of our players are doing that, right? They're putting out music where it's basically in their line of sight and where their hands are. So it feels a little awkward at first. You're like, I'm a musician, I put the music in front of me. Well, no, you're a guitarist, and that puts you in a different class. There's music. You go to college, there's the music department, and then there's the guitar department, right? And they get along because they both read sheet music, but they don't. It's not the same, right? It's not. They take clarinet very seriously. They do not necessarily take guitar with the same breath of seriousness. They all love it. They're all 100% on board that it's in the school, but so you can do things differently as a guitarist. And so I would say, think about putting your sheet music over here underneath your fretboard. That way it's less of a challenge to go from paper to hand, paper to hand, paper to hand. And also to Bill's point, and I'm talking too much, but the real issue is it worth memorizing? And this song probably is. It's about a guitar player who's dead, right? Come on. And it's a beautiful film. It's super cute. And not only that, but it's just got, the words are like, oh my gosh, I can probably use this at down the road somewhere for some sentimental reason. And I would say, because it's Disney, a lot of people are going to know the tune. And I just think, yeah, it's probably worth memorizing. And so if you're going to put some time into it, sometimes we're just learning to play guitar. We're grabbing the piece of paper. I want to keep just going through my drudgery day to day, having something new to play, something worth playing. I'm practicing my text, my tablature reading, or my chord shapes, or whatever you're doing. But I do think you have to think about, we're all of an age, right, where stuff doesn't just magically stick in our head. And I've taught little kids, and stuff magically sticks in their head. And I say, you need to memorize this. And they come back in the next day and they haven't memorized, and it's ridiculous. But if you're a grown adult, that doesn't happen nearly as easily. And so you start thinking about, what songs do I really want to have in my permanent repertoire? What do I want to own? And if this is one of those songs, then yeah, you just go ahead and memorize the whole darn thing. And you don't memorize it by notes or by words or by anything on the paper. You're really going to memorize it by shapes on your fretboard. I go to this shape, and then I play these couple of melody notes, and then I go to this shape, and I play some melody notes, and I go to that shape, and this shape, and this shape, and then there's 17 melody notes, and I can't, and that's the hard part to remember. So every song will present its own challenges with memorizing, but I always think, is this something worth memorizing? And when we did Hotel California, my thought was, this is sure a great tune. I would like to memorize it, but not enough to actually memorize it. And so I had a private student today working on it, and I was playing through it, and I'm like, yeah, I can pretty much hit it still, but there ain't no way that it would be ready for a public performance of any type. And I would say, I just didn't have enough motivation to really memorize that on a permanent basis. And so, plus it's 8 pages long, and it repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats. And so that wouldn't be one that I would put a lot of energy into memorizing. This one I might, right? This one's 2 pages. It's short. It's beautiful. It's got a lot of opportunity to be used in a funeral setting, and funerals pay pretty well. So I might put energy into doing that. All right. That's a long discussion about should you memorize or not. Yeah, you probably should if it's a good song and you think that you love it and you want it to be part of who you are. Memorizing a song, in my mind, is a 1-year project. It takes about 2 months to get it really solid in your head, and then it takes 10 months of playing it every day until it's not coming back out of your head. So Moon River was like that for me. I spent a good couple months just really getting in and making sure I knew every single motion that I was going to make. And then I spent every single day for 10 months after that, I played that stupid song. And by the end, of course, you hate the song, but it's also part of who you are at that point. And then now when somebody says, hey, play something for me, Moon River, well, I don't have to think about it. It's just part of who I am. And so find yourself a couple songs that are going to be worth putting in a year's worth of work on, and then do it, and then just stick to them. It's okay. I mean, it's very normal for piano players and certainly students of music. They get their music in September and they're still playing that music in April. And it's not uncommon. It's not weird. It's just what we do. It takes that much work. And that's for college kids, right? All right. Now let's make sure that this text isn't somebody saying that I am disconnected from the internet. Okay, I'm good. All right, here we go. Let's play the Tough You. In terms of chords, if you are a singer and you want to play the chords work great. The chords, the only comment I have on chords is you have this G chord, which is your open G chord, and you also have your bar chord G chord. And I would say in many places on this song, you might be better off using the bar chord G chord instead of the open G chord. They sound the same, sorta, but not really, and especially with how many bar chords show up in certain spots on this song, I would say, really give some thought to whether you want to play more bars or more opens. I have a tendency to arrange with a lot of open chords, so I put the closed chords on up here on top, and then I sort of changed my mind as I was doing the arrangement. I may end up changing those back, but the reason I put the bar chord G's in the first part was because I knew you were going to be facing the C minor in measure 3, and I was like, well, let's start on bar chord. Remember me, though I have to say goodbye, remember me. And then I went to the open chord, which was dumb because I should have stayed G chord here because my next chord's an F. I'll just slide down. Don't let it make you cry. So there's all that. All right, now let's talk tough acts. Okay, hopefully this is really where you're putting your time in. Let's go through the whole thing again, make sure we know what we're doing, and then go try it a few times. So I've got my index finger on 5. I don't know if you got what finger you've chosen, but I think 5 is the right answer, or index is the right answer. So play that, 5, and then for sure ring here. Okay, and then I'm going down with my pinky to this 3 because I've got to get my ring finger on here for the G chord. And now I've got all of the G fully formed, and everything's going to vibrate harmonically perfectly, and we're going to be in great shape. Now, I want to mention, I've overused my pinky this week, and so he's fighting back really, really hard today. So we'll see how I make it through the entire night. Then I got this little extra G chord in there. It's not there. Don't treat it as melody. It's just a little extra chance to record the beat and then hit the 3-0. I love this section here, 101, couple of threes. I'm sliding my pinky up to 5 because I need to put on index and these two right above it. And isn't that a beautiful chord? Go hit your 2 7s. Doesn't matter what you hit your 5 with because you're going to have to lift up to play the whole G chord here. And then a little bit of another just G chord in there to fill out space. Now I've been trying to talk myself into doing my pinky on 7 here, 7. That way I can slide the bar on while that's ringing. I can put my bar on 5 and then the C shape in front of that, and I have to move my pinky, slide my pinky up 1 string. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at there, is pinky on 7, sorry. Bar, C shape, move your pinky. Go back to the 7s. And you should be able to leave the whole chord on for that whole time. Okay, so you've got. And if you can leave the chord on, your notes sound more connected. They sound prettier. It's easy to talk about. It's not that easy to do that. So you might have to abandon the idea. But and then that 5 is already under my bar, so I don't have to worry about that. And then I just quickly slide the bar down and my middle finger down to get the B7. And then I'm going to go grab the pinky again with the 3 here. And you could probably grab your ring finger there too, but it's a little bit more of a stretch. So I've been putting my pinky there to get the E minor on. And the challenge here is you want to get this as big and bold as you can, because you're going to have to pull these 2 fingers up and this finger up. So these fingers are going to, those strings are going to stop ringing, which is the melody note and the main part of your chord are going to stop ringing. So you want the other strings to be ringing while you're racing up here to get to the 12s, right? So it's a way to cover up that dead space. And then those 12s sort of drop in over the top of what is left ringing out of your guitar. It's super cool. Go grab the 7. Now I've been putting an index finger on 10 because I've got to come up and grab these 10s. It just doesn't really matter what finger I'm using on that 3 at the end of measure 6, because I've got to get back up here to 10. And it's not going to matter, right? So just hit it with the one that you get the best tone out of, and go grab your 10s. And then I've just been dropping this down. 10, 8, 8, 7, 5. Now, let's talk very quickly about sliding bars up and down. You hear that sound, right? That drives some people crazy. If you're a guitarist and that drives you crazy, you're misunderstanding what you're doing, okay? This sound, you don't hear it on recordings in guitar. They take it off. There's a guy, and his job is to get rid of that. And if that drives you bananas, you got to go pick a different instrument. Go play piano, because this is what happens when you listen to live guitar. There's no way around it. And when I watch YouTube and they don't have that, I know that there's an audio engineer who fixed that. And that's not live guitar. That's not what we do. This is going to happen. Let it be a thing. Try to minimize it. Obviously, this isn't actually ideal, but it is going to be a thing that happens as you play guitar. So when you are at this 10, okay, I'm trying to purposely make this sound zippy. Okay, so I can cover it up a tiny bit, but it's still going to show up. So just make sure you know that that's okay to make that sound. Okay, that sound. Not ideal. Try to minimize it, but it's okay if you make it, because that means you're alive. Okay, you got that 5. Now I've been grabbing my pinky with this the 3 at the end of measure 7, because I want to have time. I want to have my other fingers available to make that C chord at the beginning of measure 8, and then I got to jump back up here to 10. And then I'm also using my pinky on this 8 because I'm going to put a bar on 5-5-5-8, right? And I need to have that space there. So I need to have my pinky here and my bar here. And then I want to drop it down, 7, 7, index on 3, and then a bar on 7, middle finger on the 5, and your pinky goes back out to 7. This is the tough moment. It's absolutely right. It's absolutely beautiful. There's no way to make this any better. Okay. And then you're going to take your ring finger to get the 5s. Slide down to get the 1 with your index finger. To the 3. Slide down to your index finger to get the 3, because you're going to need to put your pinky back up on 5. This index finger jumps up 1 string, and these two guys go up on the strings 5 and 4. Okay. So it's almost the perfect chord. It's almost. It's pretty close, except for we have this one doubled up string here. That sounds stupid, but you can't get over it because we really need this tone, that tone with this tone. So those are the 4 strings we really want. That's the sound we're really looking for, but we get this doubled G chord here, or G string here, and so we just accept it. Okay, play through it quickly. Make sure you hit this thing real clean, because that tone's going to ring out for just a few minutes before you go back to head into page 2. So now you're right here on 5. I have been pulling my pinky and getting my ring finger down here, because I don't want to take my pinky and slide it up. I want that to be clean. Okay, and then so I should probably shoot to have my ring here, right? I'm going to try to have my pinky there. Okay. I haven't come to any firm decisions on how to play that section as well, and I probably would if I was getting ready for performance. Okay, so and there's your G chord. This is the same as the beginning. 3, 0. Okay, nice 101. Go grab the 5s, and again with your pinky, because you're going to do index in these 2. Okay, there's that. Where am I? And then 2 7s with your ring. You want your ring because you got a 7 is beautiful. Oh, thanks, Jake. He's congratulating me on doing my job. Here's a 0, and then 2 7s. An 8 is a 2. And then this one, you're already in the right position. You're already exactly where you need to be. Okay, so don't change anything. Just add your index and these 2 fingers. And this is my favorite chord in the entire piece. It's so beautiful. The A minor shape, it's a D minor clear up here, but it's a D minor 7th. And what I've been finding is it's all 8th notes through there, right? So it's supposed to go, hear a sad guitar. It's supposed to go real fast, but I don't think you should do that. I think you should hear a sad guitar. So let that 8 ring pretty longer than it should probably. Okay, then that's so nice. And then go up to your 10. Okay, isn't that nice? Okay, and you're gonna now this is a half note, so you got plenty of time to go down, get the top of the C chord on 3 and 2. And then I've been using my pinky on the 3. I'm using my ring here on this 2. Because I want to be able to put on the rest of the C chord there, and I'm going to run out of fingers. Okay, so I put my ring finger here, and then I can play the 2 0 1 2, and then 2 zeros. Get the 3. Doesn't matter what you get it with, because you're going to have to change out your fingers anyway. To this A minor shape on 3. Make sure you only hit those 3 strings. 4 4 3. Open up the 3. This one is a 2 2 2, and then the pinky up on 4. That's sounds so cool there. And then hit the 2, and then make your E minor. Hit the 0 again. Hit the 5 and the 6 up here. So I'm just thinking of a C chord up here, but I'm making sure my middle finger gets on the 5. And you want to hit this with gusto, because you've got to get that 0 has to turn into a 3, and if you do it right, it's going to sound cool, and if you don't do it with enough energy behind it, it's just going to sound all muddy. That's what I've been doing. Okay, so hit those 5, 6, 6, 6, 5, 0, and then hit the 3 and don't slow down. Okay, now you put a little vibrato on that 5, and then of course we repeat. So the whole thing is working out pretty well, right? Some of the moments are super hard, some of it's are easy, and as we talked earlier today, I think it's important to point this out. Some of these chords are too hard to do for you. Probably, if some of them are too hard for me. Okay, so a good chance there's a couple of them that are beating you up too. When you get to those, play the top note and move on. Don't lose sleep over it. Play the melody for 2 or 3 notes around that particularly unpleasant chord. Just go in, grab those melody notes off the top of the chords, blink, 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 and then don't lose sleep about it. You're not getting paid by the chord, right? You're not getting paid at all. But if you were, it would be to play music, right? And so if you've got a situation on a piece of sheet music that's just not going to happen, go grab the melody, don't lose sleep over it, and move on. It happens to me all the time where I'll be playing something and doggone it, I just get myself all confused as to where I'm supposed to be. I just stick to the melody until I can figure it out and go back in. And so please don't think that's cheating, right? That's being a smart musician. They're basically the same thing. Okay, let's talk about the ending of it, because measure 18 is the same as measure 17 when you do the turnaround. You come in, play measure 18, and then the last 4 notes of the thing, remember it's 3, 3, 3, 3. It's kind of a weird way to end it, but you'll see if you watch the video, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's exactly the way it's supposed to be. It's awesome. So just memorize these chord shapes. You got the A minor 7th with your pinky here. Okay, let that ring. Make it count fully. We'll grab 3 and 4 and 5. And I like the fact that they're doubled up this time. Got a weirdness to it. It's like, what? And then you're going to go finish it up with a C minor. It sounds beautiful. And then don't move your pinky, but finish up your G chord. Beautiful. If you have to, one of the things I do is hit that G chord at the end. I'm not doing it right now because I don't like these strings I put on here and they sound kind of dead. But if you have a nice, beautiful ringing out G string, that's it in. Or you can even do the 3rd string, right? And those are your G notes. Okay, and they'll just sound pretty over the top of that. Okay, all right. That's the whole song. How are we doing on time? We should probably wrap it up. Let's play Remember Me 2 times through, and then we'll take a vote. Okay, are we keeping it for one more week, or are we gonna put it in the I'm gonna work on it book? Do you guys have that book? Your book, the songs you're gonna work on someday? Probably it's the book in front of you, right? It's got all the songs I give to you all the time, and you're gonna work on some of them. Okay, do me a favor. Pick one, memorize it, master it, make it part of who you are. It does not need to be a level 4 song. It can be a level 1 song, level 2 song, something, okay? So that you have a song that you own, okay? It doesn't need to be the best one in the world, okay? It just needs to be your first one. And I always recommend people memorize the very first book, Frère Jacques, because at some point you're going to get good enough where somebody's going to say, hey, teach me how to play guitar. And you want to start with Frère Jacques, you're going to need to have that thing memorized anyway. Second one, I think, in book 2, Simple Gifts is absolutely beautiful. And so there's no reason not to put that one under your belt as well. But be thinking about, if Hotel California California is your thing, then get started on it and work on it every single day until it's completely inside of your head. And then for the next 10 months after that until it's inside of your fingers, and then you'll have something. So just put that on your to-do list. Not telling you what to do in life, just telling you what to do in your next step in guitar, right? Make sure you have one song memorized. All right, let's play the whole thing twice through, see how we come out. Okay, pink. Say a little prayer for this pinky. It is actually at this moment it is going, no, we're not going to do that. That's going to not go well at all for us. Please don't make me do it. All right, here we go. From the top. 1, 2, 3. Where am I? I totally lost my spot, you guys. Oh, I'm going to start over from the beginning. I apologize. Measure 5. I don't know what happened. I was so busy thinking, yay, I got this. I got it. And then I blew it. I want to start over. Okay. Don't. By the way, if you come into my orchestra, we don't start over, right? You just have to accept the fact that you blew it, figure out where you are to move on. Okay. But when you're a soloist, you get to be like, crud, where am I? Start over. All right. From the top. I apologize. 1, 2, 3. Where is it? I can do better than that. second inning. Let it ring out almost completely. I think I turned all those into whole notes. Okay. Perfectly fine when you're a soloist. You can get away with that. How are we doing on time? 8:47. I can do it one more time. Okay. One more time through both times through. I feel like Measure 9 and I are going to have a talk. I know exactly what I'm supposed to do. 4, 5, 7. I don't know why I can't fight. I don't know why it's fighting me. Fighting back. It's been fighting back since I wrote this piece. Okay. Or arranged this piece. From the top, 2 times through, make it happen. Be the pinky. 1, 2, 3. To the top. always hold on to your chord at the end, no matter how poorly you play, right? Last chord, let it ring. Okay, don't let that go. All right, so we have to vote. My Pinky says, yep, that's enough of that song. But of course, it doesn't realize that the next song has just as much Pinky in it as well. I can feel it going pop, pop. That's not good. That's not good. So it's time to give Pinky a rest. We may not play this one tomorrow. Well, or if I do, I'm going to just play melody tomorrow. We'll practice chords and melody tomorrow. So tonight can be, if you guys feel like you want another week of Remember Me, just to keep it up and just see if we can't get it to that next level wherever you're playing it. Doesn't matter how well you're playing it. Do you want to go for one more week and put it up there? Or on the other hand, you're like, you know what? I got it. Wherever level you got it at, fine with it being there. Like to move on. Okay. So not all of you were logged in, of course, and not on necessarily. And so let me know what your opinion is on this song. I am perfectly fine with another week of it. I'm also perfectly fine with tossing something else together this weekend and getting it out to you next week for whatever we're doing. I did need to make a quick announcement. So tomorrow is regular, right? And we'll see if my Pinky is going to cooperate in terms of playing Remember Me tomorrow during the daytime shift. But on Monday is my anniversary. It's anniversary number 29. I've been dating her for 34 years, and we're going to go do something. We can't do anything, right? You can't go out of the house. You can't you can't do anything. And we couldn't find anywhere at all that we trusted in terms of like going to a hotel or a bed and breakfast or anything. We just like, no, don't trust anybody. So I don't think we're actually going to do anything, but we're just going to hang out and be in love, I guess. And so I won't be there will be no class on Monday coming up. So you'll have a 3-day weekend from Gary, which is brilliant, right? And I think so next week will be a short week, right? So next week will be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and here. Now, it's weird because that's my head, right? Oh, I got to teach. But your head is, hey, I'm a guitar player. I play guitar every night. I mean, that's your head. And so I guess that's what we'd like to vote on here is one more week of Remember Me or move on to something else. And so let's see. Vic says, I would like another week as I just got some good tips today. Oh, okay. So Vic is Vic has been joining me every week, every day, weekday, and I'm still just filling her up with brilliant ideas, which is exciting. No, you say that the nice part is if you take one song and you just tackle it and you hear different people talk about it, or you hear the same person talk about it multiple times. Hopefully each time you pick up a little cool advice here or there. Bill says, Bill's cool with another week. Okay. So next week again is a short week. So we'll have during the day, we'll just have those three, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We'll play this again, and then we'll plan on something. We'll kick out something the following week. I am working on, which I'm super excited about, is some easier Spanish classical type stuff. So I'm trying to make it more Spanish and less classical. I'm also really focused in on, I do not want to have pieces that are this hard. I think this piece is a little bit beyond there's moments when this thing's like just absolutely lush and perfect. And then, but the problem is the couple of places where I really needed to get the depth of the chord. It works, but boy, is it a lot of work to get it in. So I'm trying to find stuff that's beautiful, very Spanish in nature, and just a little tiny bit more playable than this. So that's that'll be what's coming next. And so I'm excited, guys. We'll stick with this for one more week. And then obviously, if you have a song that you're thinking, hey, I'd like for Gary to consider it, here's what I'm doing in terms of, I just got a button that says YouTube Studio Dashboard. How exciting. I don't know. Maybe I have just arrived at something. What was I going to say? If you have a song, you're thinking, I've always wanted to play this song, or I've always wanted to play that song, I really, really do want you to send me an email about it. If it is some super crazy, obscure, modern thing, that I don't have any knowledge of it all, I'll go listen to it on YouTube, right? I'll go listen to it. I'll figure out if it's something that I'm excited about working on. I'm really, really partial to anything in the 21st century. So, I don't have a problem with Taylor Swift and Lady Gaga and Radiohead and all of that stuff. I'm perfectly fine with working on some of that stuff. And U2 or I'm trying to think of 90s stuff, 20s, to the Zeros stuff, but I don't listen to that on a regular basis, so I don't keep up with that world at all. I certainly know who Kanye West is. I don't think I've ever listened to a single song of his. But the idea is, if you've got a song that you think, hey man, I would really love to be able to play on guitar, just send me the name of it and we can talk about it. If it's something that I get excited about, absolutely we'll toss it into the grist mill, and we'll have it eventually come out as a nice arrangement for all of us to work on. I don't necessarily take votes on, whether people like songs or don't like songs. I write what I think is going to sound good on guitar, and then we work on it. And some of those things are weird stuff you've never heard of. Hide in the Rosaline is my best example of that. Nobody knows that song. Everybody turns out loves to play it. So honestly, be thinking about that, and don't be shy about sending me an email. I get emails from ukulele players all week long. They're not shy at all. You guys I don't hear from. So don't at all be shy about letting me know what you want to do as a guitar player, because this is going to go on for a while. We're locked up here. I'm not going to be able to get out of the house till at least January, and so I just want to be working on stuff that's meaningful to me and to you. And so I'm glad we're going to do this for another week. Thank you guys for being here. Have a wonderful night. I hope everybody's being safe and having great weeks out there, and I will see. I talked way more than I wanted to tonight, but we did play this a bunch of times, right? So that should be something. So all right guys, have a wonderful evening. I will see all of you tomorrow. I'm going to go push this button that says YouTube Studio Dashboard. I'm going to go press that button and see what happens. All right guys, I want to press it first, and then I'm going to hit end stream. So I'm about to, it just went away. I don't know what happened there. Okay, it knows better than to give me a new button. I'll push it. All right, have a great night, you guys. Thanks for being here. I'll see you some of you tomorrow. I'll see some of you next week.